Hey, Coach.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
Good.
Coach, how excited are you about the group you've got coming back on offense?
Yeah. Every year is exciting. When you have a talented group, it's probably a little bit more exciting. But that's really doesn't feel a lot different than last year, or the year before. I think we've been fortunate on offense and defense to have some talented groups every year. So that's not really new, but I think just being able to start over, being able to kind of see how this group comes together in August and what it kind of starts to look like as we get ready for that opener. I think that's probably the most exciting part of this time of year.
A lot of moving parts in the offense have changed out this year. You lost Tavian, you lost Galloway. You also gained more wide receivers in that wide receiver group. You lost Amari. A lot of changes. Can you speak on a couple of those?
Yeah, I think to me that's one of the exciting things about college football is your roster does change every year. Maybe in the NFL free agency it's changing more than maybe it has in the past. But, you come, that's normal for us. I think we're blessed that we do have a big group of guys that have played that come back, and you're happy for those guys that have graduated and moved on. Guys, like Hunter Renfro and Mitch Hyatt and those guys. But you're excited about the next group, the guys that have been working hard, waiting for their opportunity. And there's a really big group of guys, not just some of the true freshmen coming in. There's some redshirt freshmen, some sophomores that have really been in the program and been working hard and kind of waiting for their time. And that's what this fall is going to be for them, their time and their opportunity. And to be able to see how they kind of jump in with the guys that played last year, and just the chemistry and the way that they mesh is an important part. And really what has been going on in spring, summer, and getting ready to get kicked off here in August.
How's Amari doing on his rehab? How's he coming?
Yeah, he's doing well. I just saw him walk by about 5 minutes ago, leaving the training room. My experience with guys, regardless of position, that have had to kind of battle through an ACL, is it really, a lot of it has to do with the individual, their mental toughness, their mental approach, the way that they attack it. And obviously I was very disappointed and felt bad for Amari because he's worked extremely hard going into the spring. But at the same time, what I told all those guys in that room, there's probably not anybody in that room more prepared for that obstacle. And the way that he has attacked it has not surprised me one bit. He's ahead really of every benchmark that they've had for him in there. Very similar to when Deshaun Watson was kind of going through that. I think for Amari it's going to be one of those things that, we're having to kind of say whoa and not sick him. Just kind of slow him down a little bit, because he'll want to go out there and do probably a little bit more than the trainers want him to do right now. But I know he's able to do some straight ahead things, and we're hoping in fall camp with the trainers he'll be able to start doing some things laterally. And I expect him back sooner than later, and exactly when that is in the season, will be yet to be determined.
And he is doing some running at this point.
Is he what?
Yeah,
he is doing some running, and feels really good with where he is right now, as do the trainers. But it's still a process, and it's not something that we're going to rush him back or put him back out there before he's ready, because we think he's going to have a chance to have a really good season for us this year, and we just want to be sure that he's really back to 100% before we put him back out there on the field.
Is Cornell that guy right now that would be?
There's really there's a group of guys. Cornell's in that mix. DeAndre Overton, TJ Chase. Those are three guys that have really been repping in that 5-man spot, along with Brandon Spector, who just got here in the spring. So I think that competition is still going. I know when we kind of put a depth chart, you kind of have to put something out there, but that will change probably multiple times between now and the first game. And but I'm happy for those guys. You're sad on one point for Amari, but you're also excited for some of these other guys that have been kind of waiting their turn to get their opportunity. And it'll be fun to watch them compete for that spot here the rest of preseason camp.
DeAndre's got kind of a different build than the traditional, slot guy. How unique is that? How would that affect his playing the position?
Well, I think for us as coaches, if he ends up being in the top 3, then you're able to change a few things maybe that you do, being able to move different guys around, different positions. I mean, at the end of the day, if we're going to put 3 wideouts out there, it's about putting the best 3. It's not, always about the different body types and those type of things. And sometimes it works out that way, and sometimes, it doesn't. I mean, I remember when Jerron Brown was here in the slot, and he made a lot of great plays, and, he was a 6'2", 6'2.5" guy. And DeAndre has shown this spring, to be able to make a lot of plays in the slot along with Cornell and TJ. So, for us, that's not as big a concern as it is making sure that, the guy that fills that role is prepared to do what we ask him to do. And some of that may change based off who's in there.
Coach, how different is it to open on a Thursday this year?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Especially as fall camp goes, you're ready to play. So to get to play a couple days earlier, I think will be a good thing. I know we don't major in Thursday night games, but I think for whatever reason, there's a little extra excitement in the stadium. There's always a lot of excitement for the first game. And also being the first game on ACC Network, I think will be really special. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of juice, and obviously Georgia Tech, has a new coaching staff, a lot of new energy over there, and so I know there'll be a lot of excitement, but that'll be something fun. Right now, that seems like so far away because I know the process here over the next month, but there's no doubt our guys will be excited and be ready to go on that Thursday night.
Some positions are historically harder than others. Not saying they're easy to learn as a freshman. Is it more on the player or more on the position, at wide receiver, how fast they pick it up?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously for both Frank and Joe, being able to come in January, I think was very beneficial for them to be able to learn. But, that's not always the case. You look back last year, and, Justin Ross came in the summer and was able to have a huge impact his freshman year. But it also did take him a couple weeks there to really get to where he could go out and be counted on an every down player. So it's our job as coaches to give them the information and to teach it, present it in a way that they can learn it. But they have to do their part as well. But really, I'm pleased with all 3 of those freshmen, Joe and Frank and Brandon, that came in this spring. They did a great job, picked it up very well. I think they've done a great job this summer, and I'll be excited to see where they are when we get back on the field here next week, 2 weeks.